Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Liz. Today's video is really fun because we are looking at your big adventure in 2025. And based on the cards we got today, I feel like everyone has some pretty big goals that they're setting for 2025. I feel like 2025 is going to be a year to get a lot accomplished because that was definitely the energy today across all of the groups. There's some big things happening in the year ahead. So I'm excited to hear if this resonates, if this makes sense. We have an Alice in Wonderland theme today. It's been about 4 years since I did that theme, and I had a lot of fun picking out which decks to use today, so I hope you enjoy that. So we have 3 teacups to choose from, so I'll give you a close-up, but first let's take a nice deep breath. I find that sometimes helps calm the mind. It might help you select which teacup is for you, so let's do that first. Pause the video if you need more time. Yeah, I'll show you each of the teacups. So for group 1, we have this teacup with the gold and the pink flowers and the blue bird. For group 2, we have this teacup. It's very detailed. It's got lots of birds on it, butterflies, different vines and flowers. And then group 3, I always thought this one was really pretty. It's got the gold and the florals. And this one actually has a tea stain in it, which is kind of interesting. That might help you decide too. Whichever teacup or pattern or number 1, 2, 3 you feel drawn to, that will be your message for today. Remember, please have fun with my readings. My readings are meant for entertainment. I do hope that there is a message that resonates for you today, but if you're listening to this and you feel like it's not quite resonating, then this one might not be for you. Hopefully, though, it is. I hope that the message today does resonate and make sense for your situation. And a lot of this, with the 2025 readings, a lot of things might kind of make a little bit more sense as the year unfolds. I did post my full year ahead reading, and there we went into all of the details about the year ahead, what you might be able to expect in career and love and relationships. I did also post a relationship-focused year ahead reading, so both of those will be linked below. And also, if you are interested in supporting the channel, if you want to receive an exclusive video every single week, you can check out my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, which are both also linked below. But of course, there will still be free readings here on YouTube. So yeah, we will dive into it. Let me know what you think. I will put the timestamps below and all of the information in the description, and we will dive into group number 1. Hello, group 1. If you chose the first teacup with the blue bird, then this is your messages for your big adventure in 2025. So I am very excited to dive in and see what this might be. We're going to get as much detail as possible. And I went with a Alice in Wonderland theme for the cards today. And it's been about 4 years since I've done that, so I thought it would be fun today. Okay, we had one flip out of the deck. We'll find out what that is. But yeah, we're looking at your big adventure in 2025. If at any point I say the wrong year, just know I'm thinking 2025. I do that sometimes when I'm doing the year ahead readings. Okay, so big adventure in 2025, group 1. Okay, let's see. Group 1, big adventure in 2025. Okay. Big adventure in 2025. Big adventure in 2025. 2 more decks. Big adventure in 2025. Adventure in 2025. And then let's also get you a tea leaf card. Put that right on your teacup there. And actually, let's get your charms. We'll put those in the teacup as well. All right, so let's take a look at your cards first. All right, so you have the 5 of Hedgehogs. This is 5 of Pentacles. You have a moment's regret, nostalgia, idealizing the past, fearing you've made a mistake. You've got Queen of Diamonds, Majesty. You've got the Two of Hedgehogs, Two of Pentacles. You've got the Six of Teacups. You've got Star Anise, so youth, falling in love, spiritual aid, and the Sensualist, the France Rose. Okay, so let's take a look here. What is your next big adventure? Okay, I want to read Majesty. Actually, let's look at your tea leaf card. I was going to wait, but I want to dive in now. So opportunity or windfall. That's interesting. Because there's something that you have maybe been regretting. It could be in regards to work. It could be in regards to a business or an opportunity. Like, it feels like an opportunity you feel like you might have missed out on. All right, something from your past that you've been kind of looking back at and thinking, oh, I should have done that when I had the chance, or why didn't I do that differently, or why didn't I think of that at the time? So I think in 2025, I think you're going to see why you didn't take that opportunity at that point, because there's something else coming in for you in 2025. You've got opportunity or windfall. I'm getting with this door too, opportunity is coming knocking in 2025. So I'm excited to dive into this. But let's read Majesty. So meet Majesty. She lives inside each one of us. She is the queen of the vulnerable heart, the yearning soul, and the seeking mind. She helps us see our majesty, helps us honor our gifts, hone our skills, and be true to our word. Let us not diminish ourselves with endless self-criticism and self-negation. We must wear our crown of light and love with confidence, grace, and generosity of spirit. We all have something to teach and share with our fellows. Cultivate kindness and respect towards yourself so that your gifts may flourish and be shared freely with those around you. Okay, group one, I want to tell you something. I think a big part of this adventure in 2025, part of what I think is going to challenge you is you need to stop beating yourself up over this thing in the past. Whether it was a mistake, whether, like I said, it was something you thought you should have done differently, or why didn't I spend more time on this, or why didn't I do it this way, why didn't I work harder? It is behind you. We can't go back. And I think that you're going to see why things happened the way that they did. I think you're going to see that something that you viewed as a mistake or a missed opportunity just wasn't the right timing. I saw something recently basically about like forgiving ourselves. It's like, I wish I had done this differently, but at the time I couldn't. Okay, so you need to stop the self-criticism. Even this card says it, okay? I think you have been way too hard on yourself about what you could have, should have, would have done differently. And I think 2025 for you is about moving forward and taking the new opportunities that are coming in, because those opportunities are behind you. All right, it doesn't mean similar things won't come up, but I think if you dwell too much on the past and kind of stick in the past, it's keeping you stuck there almost in a sense. So I think that this year, 2025 for you is going to be really big in pursuing new opportunities and opening this door of opportunity. Now you've got opportunity or windfall. I love that part of your adventure, because I'm getting so much about this door to opportunity that I'm seeing, opportunity or windfall. And it does seem like it could be financial in nature. It could be like this adventure has to do with your dream job, or possibly a business, or just an opportunity that I think has been hiding. I don't know why it's been hiding, but I'm noticing the carrot under the ground. So it's like been hiding, or it's needed time to grow. It's needed time. Maybe you've been nurturing a certain skill or practicing a skill or something like that. I think that you could have learned something too from this missed opportunity. It could have been something like, I'm imagining those people that like, you see this in all different kinds of situations. You see people that have pitched scripts, movie scripts, and they get denied or they get turned down, business pitches and they get turned down. So what would happen if they stopped, right? Like I know, and I can't think of any examples offhand. I wish I could, but I know I've heard of like businesses and brands and names that you recognize that didn't get accepted right away. I think it was actually Meryl Streep, for example, who got turned down for a pretty big role back early in her career. And had she let that kind of derail her, I mean, look at the career she's had since, right? So that's just kind of an example of what I'm getting here. So I think a large part of this adventure hinges on you trying to pay attention to how much of this like criticism, self-criticism endless, it says, self-criticism that you've been putting on yourself, okay? You also, I think, need to honor more of your gifts. Like it says here, honor more of your gifts, your talents. I see in 2025, part of this adventure is honing in a skill. This is what I was picking up on. I think that you are starting to really work on or perfect a certain skill. This experience in the past maybe taught you something that you need to change or adjust or learn, something like that. Like this experience, actually, I think you might find, when looking back at this, did help you in a certain way. This rejection, and you know what? I just thought of that. Rejection is protection. Maybe this opportunity that you've been dwelling on might not have been the best one anyways, right? I think for you, group 1, this is one of those situations where you're not really going to see the way things unfolded in the best way until you're looking back, right? Because I think this is linked to something that did sting. I think it's linked to something that didn't go how you had planned or something you've been way too hard on yourself about. So be gentle on past you. Now, part of this adventure, let me see, because you've got youth and you have 6 teacups, which is really interesting. So youth is a theme here. And you've got nostalgia. So there's lots about nostalgia here. I wonder if you're revisiting a certain goal or dream or vision or adventure that you had as a kid. This could be like a dream that you've had for a long time. You know, that's really a big part of it. Okay, let me see here. What else I'm getting? Majesty. I want to read from the Oracle of Roses, number 35. Because you've got love here as well, because you've got falling in love and you've got the sensualist. So this says passion and even romance are in focus, but these energies can pertain to activities and concepts, not just people. Time to let your hair down, enjoy yourself, and throw caution to the wind, for a while anyway. The warning is to not let yourself get too far away from the ground, or you may just float off. Still, you may attract an admirer at the moment. The sensualist is the lover of all things that delight and light up their mind, body, and soul. They know how to enjoy themselves, but they are not selfish in their pursuits, much preferring company along for the ride. Oh, I love how much information was in this. Okay, so here is an exploration for you. What did you notice today? This could be a clue that captured your attention. I think that's a clue, group 1. What did you notice today that captured your attention? So mind you, this could be about love, okay? Part of this adventure could be falling in love in 2025. But it also said that this could be a concept. Now, these two things could connect. This opportunity or windfall could, for some reason, connect with falling in love. But, you know, it did say it potentially could be a concept as well. I think a big part of this adventure for you is you're enjoying yourself. This, you know, this idea of like the sensualist is making me think of you're enjoying, part of this adventure is enjoying all of your senses too. Okay, so this adventure may include tasting like really good foods and like really like nice aromas or different sights and sounds and things like that, whatever applies. But you're very passionate in 2025. Adventurous, which really fits this reading because it says throwing caution to the wind. And it says stay grounded. So stay grounded in whatever's happening in 2025. It's also saying you may be attracting an admirer in 2025. But yeah, you are delighting in things that light up your mind, body, and soul. You're enjoying yourself. And I like this other thing at the very end. It says you're not doing this alone. So this is involving someone else because it's saying you're preferring company along for the ride. So part of this adventure, group 1, does involve someone else. Someone else is coming along with you. And I know I usually only like to read 1 or 2. So I'm going to read 1 more because I'm liking all the information we're getting. But I want to read Star Anise here and see what it says. Okay, so Star Anise gives off a star-crossed lovers vibe, probably because it looks like a star. And the fact that it can be confused with Japanese star anise, which is actually poisonous, it says very Romeo and Juliet, if you ask me. When we're young, we tend to romanticize just about everything, including people we barely even know. Youth allows us this gift of mistakes, falling in love. Lots about mistakes here. okay? Because you've got the word mistakes here and mistakes here. So I think part of this adventure is not being so afraid of making a mistake. I think you are releasing this idea of like a mistake, because I think you've spent so much time regretting something you view as a mistake that you are maybe not being as adventurous, maybe not taking opportunities because you're afraid of making a mistake, but that in itself might be a mistake. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like we never really know whether we're making a mistake or not. I think all we can do is follow our best judgment and our intuition. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's this big fear of like, oh, what will I make the wrong choice, right? But we don't really know until we're on the other side. Even these things too that we believe are mistakes, you know, we can change directions, we can learn lessons, we can course correct, right? We can use those opportunities. Sometimes you could even view it as an opportunity. So it says, youth allows us the gift of mistakes. I love that, how it phrases that, the gift of mistakes, falling in love with the right or the wrong people, asking for help and asking for forgiveness as well. And it says, fortunately, things tend to work out okay in the end, even if it's not the way we expect them to. Star Anise tells you to reach for the heavens and fall in love, but do so with your eyes open. Keywords for this card include divination, luck, protection, and dreams. Very interesting. So in 2025, part of this adventure is having this very dreamy, you know, it's okay to get kind of messy. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fall in love, be passionate, let your hair down. I mean, I find these two cards very interesting together because they kind of talked about the exact same thing. This card even said, I think, what was it, like let your hair down or something? How did it phrase that? Yeah, time to let your hair down, enjoy yourself, and throw caution to the wind. So yeah, I think part of this adventure in 2025 is maybe taking a bit of a risk, being an adventure, you know, having an adventure, diving fully into a passion, diving fully into something that you love. Enjoying your senses is a big part of it. Feeling confident is another big part of it. I like this thing about vulnerable heart too. I think just seems so fool energy. This is exactly what I was trying to land on, because you've got these messages of youth and you've got these messages of, you know, throwing caution to the wind and being spontaneous and letting your hair down. So I'm really getting Fool card energy with your adventure in 2025. And with this is coming opportunities and windfalls, maybe some that you haven't even seen yet. And again, some that could lead to some financial improvements in some cases. You do have 5 of Pentacles here, but you also have this Queen of Pentacles and you have the 2 of Pentacles. So part of what this could actually include is something to do with work. You do have a lot of Pentacles energy here, so it could have to do with work or business or just different opportunities, or these different opportunities leading to possibly more abundance. But I do think part of this adventure is going to be learning to find balance in some way. I think it's going to be a busy time, 2025, at least as it pertains to this adventure. I think you're going to have a lot to juggle. I'm getting to tell you it's going to give you a fresh perspective on things. There's like a whole fresh view of something. It's more optimistic too. It feels a little bit more optimistic. I'm getting to tell you it's okay to be optimistic. Okay, you've got 17 as an important number. It could be an important date, a lucky number. All right, let's see what else we have. Now, I usually would use the board, but I felt like just casting onto the cards today. Look at that. The dollar sign landed on the Queen of Pentacles. So this in some way has to do with money, okay? Opportunity, windfall, Queen of Pentacles, the dollar sign. Money is a factor here. We might not know exactly why until things unfold. Also, you've got strategy. I also think you're being strategic, possibly. Maybe it's just talking about balancing strategy with taking a risk, right? Because even you can be as strategic as possible, but you still really don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting you don't know the other person's move. You got creativity here. I think you might be exploring more creative hobbies, different things like that. Or part of this passion that you're pursuing or this opportunity could have to do with creative talents. You've got heads up, so I'm getting that in 2 different ways. I'm getting it as keep your head up, okay, stay positive, but also heads up, pay attention to these opportunities, especially if there's something lacking specifically or if there's something you feel like you're missing, pay attention for opportunities or different things that you might want to pursue. I am seeing you working very hard, all right, like you're diving fully into something, so I am seeing you working very hard. I think you do have a lot to juggle, or you've got a lot to do, a lot to balance when it comes to this adventure. I am seeing, like, the one card mentioned you're not doing this alone. So I'm seeing like a loyal friend or somebody with you involved in this, or you're going to be communicating with someone closely when it comes to this adventure. It did talk about falling in love, but I just see a companion period, okay? Whether it's a romantic companion or just someone who's kind of along for the ride or doing something kind of alongside you. There is somebody very loyal to you that's, even with this card, there's two of them, right? And you've got the chrysalis here as well with the butterfly symbolizing transformation. I think there's something where it feels to me like you regret not taking action with something. But again, I keep getting like, maybe it wasn't the right time, or maybe you just didn't feel ready. Like, don't be so hard on yourself, right? Because there's always going to be more opportunities. Like, this opportunity that you feel has passed you by isn't going to be the only one. That's not the only one. I know it feels that way sometimes, but there's going to be more. It got really windy outside too. We're having a snowstorm, so it's very windy and snowy out. I don't know if that is something, I felt like mentioning it, so it might resonate for someone in some way. You got message in a bottle. Lots about communication, because you do have the barking dog as well. There could be an important message connected to this adventure. There's a chess piece. The wheel too. This can indicate change. This is actually a bobbin, but it always makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune. There's thread on it. Thread could be relevant. Sewing could be relevant to you for some reason. This can talk about creation. I always think about the bobbin being like inside the machine though, or your wheels are turning or something like that. There's something about your wheels are turning, your wheels have been turning. Something about mechanics maybe. But yeah, the bobbin is inside the machine, so you can't see it. But you need it, because if there's no thread on the bobbin, it doesn't properly get sewn. You have the thread on the top of the machine and then the bobbin inside the machine. So let me just show you one more time, and then I want to get you some letters, group 1. This is kind of fun. It's a fun way to do the reading a little bit differently. Okay, let me just set this aside. So the way I do letters now is I will oftentimes I'll just flip them over like this. I'll look at them intuitively. And even if we don't have all of the letters, sometimes just the way they fall, you might see a word. So just kind of have fun with it. Look at it intuitively. Like, I see teacher. I see something about a teacher. I see letter. You also have the words you and will. You will. I don't see much. I see ring. You will finish something you're going to complete, something you'll finish. You're going to finish it this year. You're going to complete that book. You're going to complete that course. You're going to finish school. Like something, you're going to finish something. There's definitely something about teacher or schooling that keeps coming up in the letters for me, because I saw teacher initially. You've got grade, finish. I don't even know if we have a C, but I saw teacher, and that's what I mean. Like, sometimes you'll see things without having all the letters, just the way they fall. But yeah. But I'll flip them upright, because some people prefer that than the way I've been doing it. So I like to do both. And if you enjoy this reading, if you enjoy me or my readings, definitely consider subscribing and liking. Thank you so much for hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button. That really does help me. Okay. Toe. release. You will realize there's definitely something about you will realize why maybe this didn't happen, like a moment's regret, idealizing the past. We can do that though. We can idealize the past and think. Sometimes we look back, and nostalgia can be a bit of a liar. Sometimes we look back and we kind of view things as better than they were in some cases, or we're hard on ourselves at the same time, right? It's like, oh, why didn't I do that? Well, at the time, maybe you were dealing with other challenges. Maybe you couldn't at the time because of various circumstances. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, you've got Rose. Deal. Do we have an M? I was going to say organism. I just flipped the N sideways. But yeah, that's what I am getting, group 1. Let's do the pendulum. Now, keep in mind, with the pendulum, have fun with it. It's just some extra fun confirmation. If it contradicts your reading or what you know to be true or your intuition, have fun with it, okay? Like with the rest of my reading, have fun with it. This is just some fun confirmation. I always like to look at it as, if more people asked a no question, we're going to get a no answer. If more people asked a yes question, we're going to get a yes answer. So look at it, keeping in mind the reading as a whole. Try again. One more time. If we get try again, I'm taking it as a message to try something again. Okay, bingo. That doesn't usually happen. We don't get try again usually 3 times in a row. So I'm going to take it as they're wanting you to, like, if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, okay? Strong, heavy Pentacles energy going on here. Getting something about second chances as well. Fresh new chances, fresh new beginnings. Renewal, lots about renewal here. So let me know, group 1, does this make sense? Do you know what this is talking about? I'd love to hear it. And let me know as the year progresses what does and doesn't happen, and we will see. Hello, group 2. If you chose the second teacup, then this is your messages for your adventure in 2025. So I am very much looking forward to finding out what your adventure is. This could be about love, it could be about work, it could just be a big exciting thing that's happening in 2025. We will find out. I'm going to shuffle out your cards first. Got a bit of an Alice in Wonderland theme today. It's been about 4 years since I did that theme, so I thought it would be fun today. So group 2, what is happening in 2025? What is your big adventure in 2025? Big adventure in 2025. I feel the need to do it this way. All right. What is group 2's big adventure in 2025? It's hard to get the cards out of this deck for some reason. Okay. What is group 2's big adventure for 2025? Group 2's big adventure for 2025. 3, perfect. Okay, and let's get you some charms for your teacup. Okay, and a tea leaf card. All right, so let's start with your cards and we'll see what we have for your big adventure in 2025. You've got the moon. You have the 10 of teacups. This would be the 10 of cups. And you have the magician. You have the 9 of swords. Impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. Meditation, nutmeg, justice, travel, good fortune, that's good to see, and the heart rose, old garden rose, the heart. So we will definitely read about this rose. This deck, this is a Cheryl and Darcy deck, so full of information. Cheryl and Darcy is one of my favorites as far as oracle cards go, for sure, because there's always extra information, so we'll read that. Now, one of the themes I'm noticing is I feel like part of this adventure is going to make you a little bit nervous, okay? I think this involves facing some fears. I think that this is going to involve dealing with some insecurities that you might have and some things that you're a little bit nervous about. But I think you're going to be, I'm just seeing this major confidence shift when it comes to this adventure for you. So you're almost going to start out feeling a little bit nervous, insecure. There's that fear of the unknown, fear of the what ifs. Is this impossible? I can't believe it. Like, I like how it says working through disbelief. So I think you're almost shocking yourself here with what is going to occur in 2025. This is very interesting. It's a little bit mysterious too. So I'm excited to see what else unfolds here. But my first impression, just looking at these cards, is that there's some nerves involved in this, a little bit of nervousness. Let's see what your tea leaf card is. Major challenge to overcome. So this adventure involves something that right now you might not believe is possible in 1 year, for example, or you might not believe is possible for you to accomplish. Am I talented enough? Am I like, do I have what it takes? Do I know enough? Do I have the skills for this? So there's an element of disbelief. And I think, like it says here, you're working through this, all right? And I like how it says fresh perspective too, because there is something about a major shift here in your perspective when it comes to your abilities. I also see whatever this adventure is being very fulfilling, especially emotionally. There's a feeling of not only confidence, but self-love is what I'm getting. Like really being proud of yourself, feeling like your heart is full once this is accomplished. It could be that there's like, this has been a lifelong goal or something like that, or something that you've been wanting to do for years. Maybe it felt like too much of a mountain to climb or too much of a challenge. This card has come up recently. It came up on Patreon fairly recently. And what was interesting was, you know, this card, for some reason, I think at first glance, we think, oh no, I don't want a challenge. But there's a different perspective. Some people, and maybe you in 2025, are excited for this challenge. This is something to work towards. This is something to overcome. This is a goal, right? So this isn't challenge, like this is about a challenge that you want to pursue, okay? Not about challenges that are being thrown at you that you're not wanting. This is a challenge where you're like, that is what I want to climb. That's the mountain I want to climb in 2025. So I think that if you chose group 2, there's a good chance you've got a big goal in 2025. You're just not really sure how you're going to do it. So I think that this is the year to prove yourself wrong, to prove your insecurities wrong, to embrace the unknown. I'm also getting to tell you that if you've been like holding off with this goal because you feel like you don't know enough, I think this is the year to get that information, to kind of like figure out whatever that is that you need to know to make this happen, okay? Now, let me dive in. I like fresh perspective too. I think I already said that, but fresh perspective, maybe you have a fresh perspective on this goal, like how to achieve it, how to make this a reality, how to overcome this challenge. So maybe before it felt sort of insurmountable, and then now you're like, you know what, actually with this strategy, with this education, with this method, with this teacher, with this guide, with this tactic, whatever this ends up being for you, I can do this. I know I can. So, and it could be something maybe you have tried before, right? You know, I've already attempted this big goal and it didn't work out. This is the year. I love that in movies too. You see these sports movies specifically where like, midway through the movie, the team or whatever, the athlete is like encountering these challenges and maybe losing or having these setbacks, and then they come back even stronger. So this is kind of what's coming through. Yeah, maybe something about a comeback. You've got the heart. Let's read this one because this is the deck again that has so much additional information. So 22, let's see what that says. Okay, so making plans and finding answers with your heart is probably best at the moment. Listen to your heart and what you truly love. Shine that light on your day. Okay, so this is something that's very fulfilling for you. Again, this isn't, when I say challenges, it's not a challenge that's being thrown at you. This is something that your heart wants. This is a challenge that you have had in your heart, a dream that you've had, something that you feel invested in emotionally. So again, it says, listen to your heart and what you truly love and shine that light on your day. Romance is indicated, and so are strong and sometimes volatile reactions. So watch out for yours and those of others. Okay, so it may be a bit of an emotional time. This adventure may be emotional because you have such a strong connection to it, right? If it was something you didn't care about, your reactions would be so intense, right? So it is saying, and this is why I love this deck, because there's extra kind of little tidbits of information, but it's saying just be aware of your reactions to things. It's also saying romance is also indicated. So throughout this, there could be a romantic element to this. So romance could possibly be connected to this. This is interesting. So again, try and silence your own mind and use your feelings to work through things. So overthinking could be a bit of an obstacle here. The heart does know what it wants, and it uses emotions to express this, so listen when it speaks. It can give and receive love at the same time, but there are scales of measurement or score sheets to tally. Let me reread that. I have to absorb that. So the heart does know what it wants, and it uses emotions to express this, so listen when it speaks. So yeah, you're really listening to your heart, your intuition, when it comes to this big challenge, this big goal. Listen when it speaks. I like that with meditation, which we're going to read in 1 second. It can give and receive love at the same time, but there are not scales of measurement or score sheets to tally. Because this is something you can't really measure. So it's hard to measure whatever this is. It's more about a feeling. Okay, so when was the last time you did something completely heart-focused? There's a strong theme today about like not overthinking and not letting our fears kind of get the best of us. Because I think we tend to, when it comes to adventures or goals or opportunities, which is the theme of today's reading, adventure, we can sometimes overthink ourselves out of pursuing things, right? You see this mountain, you think, oh, I don't have what it takes, and why bother, that kind of thing. So I think you're kind of trying to work through that. So your cat today, I went with this deck because of the Cheshire Cat, but it says, meet Chutney. So this is Chutney, your little cat that's going to be with you. So one day, after a particularly deep meditation, he began to radiate and float. He loves to simultaneously be fully present in his body and his spirit. By simply closing his eyes and observing his breath, he is able to feel what is truly going on within himself. Each subtle sensation becomes vivid with its own unique texture and energy. His mind is like a wide open sky and his thoughts are like clouds floating by. Okay, I just got something specific there. So when these anxieties, these worries about these challenges that you're overcoming in 2025, this big adventure comes up, it's important to let them float by like clouds. That's interesting, but I'm going to do this anyways. Oh, that fear is interesting, but you know what? I'm going to try regardless, like that kind of thing. So let these worries and anxieties float by just like clouds. He watches them arise and dissipate without judgment. Practice with Chutney and watch your awareness brighten until life itself becomes a moving meditation. So meditation could be part of this for you. You know, a meditation could be something that you practice now or something that you're diving into in 2025 to help with this challenge. And speaking of athletes, I'm getting so much about athletes and how they, like swimmers, for example, they can kind of get meditative, right? When they're swimming laps and different things like that. So there is sort of a meditative energy to this that I'm noticing. It could be for some of you, maybe it is a athletic goal. I don't feel like that's going to be for everyone, of course, but I am getting that for a few of you. There could be some sort of athletic or physical goal that you have for 2025, or this challenge might be something involving that. You've got travel also indicated here. So part of this adventure may involve travel. It could be somewhere you're traveling to, or travel could be part of this. You've got good fortune too. Okay, I really want to read this one too. I'm in a reading mood today. Hopefully you enjoy that. I don't always read as much, but I think today it's kind of fun because I'm really enjoying these books. And I'm finding these two cards are working really wonderfully together. So again, in case you're interested for yourself, this is the Oracle of Roses by Sherilyn Darcy. And it's pairing well with the Herbal Tea Magic for Modern Witch by Elise Wilde. So these decks are just really complementing each other today. So in case you are interested for yourself. Okay, nutmeg. All right, so good vibes are here, and I'm not just saying that because I just had a pumpkin spice latte where nutmeg is the key ingredient, but because nutmeg is one lucky nut, well, seed. Nutmeg has always been associated with good fortune, especially while traveling. Whether you're taking a trip or an emotional or spiritual journey, which I feel like both could be the case, it says it's time to get moving. If you're looking for justice or a karmic return, one is coming on the horizon, though you may have to meet it halfway to achieve it. Keywords for this card include attraction, prosperity, journey, luck, improved memory, and movement. Interesting. We also have the Magician, so there's a strong element of manifestation here, confidence. The Magician has what they need, and they're very in tune with like their abilities, okay? So of course, you've got, typically with the Magician card, you've got all of the elements there on the card. So I feel like it's also a very resourceful card. I feel like you're using what you have to make this goal a reality. You're using the resources at hand. You're being strategic and resourceful. You're harnessing all of your power and your abilities and your confidence. Like, confidence is key here. I can't stress this enough, especially with the Magician, with all of these kind of things about facing insecurities. I'm also getting to tell you to use your imagination to your benefit, right? Because our imagination can either be our greatest ally or our worst enemy. And in this case, I feel like it can go either way, right? Because we can let our imagination really get the best of us and we can get really carried away. Or we can be like, and I think one easy way to do this, or one way that I like to do it, is say, okay, well, what could go right? Instead of always being like, okay, what can go wrong here? What can go right? So part of this adventure is going to be taking these positive imaginative leaps, because I think manifestation is also part of this too, right? A little bit of possible law of attraction is coming up. Fresh perspective, again, I already touched on that, but I feel like you're maybe getting a fresh perspective on a certain goal. Okay, let's see what your charms are. Today I'm just casting it right onto the cards. Okay, so 3 could be relevant. All right, so let me just, I'll lift this up to show you, and then we'll take a closer look. Let me just show you here. Oh, cute, look at that. With the Alice in Wonderland theme, we've got the little teapot here. You've got the little astronaut, you've got the champagne bottle, you've got this little fortune cookie. Fortune says, bam, you've got this. So very, very much about confidence is key. You've got a gift, a bow. You've got the ice cream cone. You've got the leg. This is all about stepping into new experiences. You've got the coffee cup with coffee in it. You've got the crystal ball. You've got the dog. And you've got the sloth here. All right, so one of the things I noticed, one of these cards talked about getting moving, getting going. So there is something about energy here, like an energy shift, or even with your fresh perspective, because this charm, depending on what it comes out with, this can actually be a card or a charm, pardon me, indicating like relaxation, taking your time. But you've also got it so close to the coffee cup, and then the message talking about getting moving, getting going. You know, maybe this is just about getting started, right? Because sometimes we're almost like, we kind of freeze almost. There's an element of like being frozen here. Again, you've got bam, you've got this. The leg is indicating that maybe this is a new experience. You're stepping into a new experience. The ice cream cone can be about enjoying the little things. This to me is coming through as enjoying the process. You've got the astronaut reaching for the stars. I think that's quite, on the nose, reaching for the stars. Or it could be saying that your goal is within grasp, which is interesting too, because this card said working through disbelief. So there's part of you that still doesn't believe that this is possible, but then there's part of you that is like, well, what if it is? What if I can do this? You know, I think you're going to surprise yourself in 2025 by what you're actually capable of. And it's not going to always be easy. I want to stress this, right? I don't want to sugarcoat this. It's not always going to be easy, but I think you're up for the challenge in 2025. You've got the bow. This can indicate a gift or a gift you're giving yourself, maybe. It landed on meditation, so it could be that there's like a gift. The gift of meditation is coming through, or maybe this has to do with your natural abilities or gifts. You've got the teapot. This can be about, there's so much about like being present here, because the teapot reminds me of being present in the moment. And you also have the ice cream cone. There's something about loyalty or friendship coming through as well. Remember, your one card also talked about like karmic justice. You've got, this can be about celebration, something you're celebrating. Bam, you've got this. Some numbers that might be important. 6, 61, 14, 34, 57, 86. Lots about facing the unknown. Imaginative leaps keeps jumping through. Because that, again, like imaginative leaps, sometimes the people with the biggest imaginations like can create the most stressful possible what if scenarios, right? So it is a bit of a, it's one of those things where it's a gift. It can be such a gift, our imagination, but it can also sometimes create so much fear. I have a song for you, a music video more specifically. It's called Run Boy Run. Okay, I'm going to link it below. But to me, the music video is about your fears. Like you'll see like this boy's like running from these monsters, but then you'll see early on in the video, the monsters are like cheering him on and running with him. And to me, it's such a powerful song. Like it gives me chills even after listening to it so many times. I honestly think it might benefit you to watch the video and listen to the song, because that to me, that video just makes me think about facing fears and like embracing these challenges. Like the whole tone of the song, again, it's giving me chills. I'm not even listening to it. So I would watch it and listen to it. I will link the YouTube video below, please, 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 because it came in maybe for a reason. All right, we're going to get some letters and we'll do the pendulum. So I'll give you another chance to look at this though. And some of these charms might have personal significance to you, okay? It might be letting you know something that's very specific to you because of one of these charms connects to a situation or person. So have fun with it. Lots of words. So there's lots of potential phrases. Flip these over. I'm going to put all of the words here. And what I'm going to do first before flipping them upright is just look at them this way, because sometimes you'll see a word, even if you don't have all of the letters, just by the way they fell. I'm seeing Michigan again. Saw that in a reading I did this week. So Michigan, yeah, look for anything that kind of jumps out at you and then I'll flip them upright. My stomach's growling. I see month, mouth, need. The words you got time, good, star, secret, and hug. I see gain. I'm not seeing as much today. I'll flip them upright. We'll see what else we can see. Time. Got the word as well. Do we have the word justice again? Because then you have that word twice. I think we do. If we have a C, that is. I don't think we do, but yeah, just, because you had justice. Look at that. Look what you have, just in time. Just in time. Go. you'll go far. Yeah, just in time and go far were interesting. Test. Moments could test you. Test. Let me know what you see. Look in the comments too. There's always really great suggestions. And thank you, by the way, for liking and subscribing. All of that really does help my channel. If you leave a comment, definitely let me know how you're enjoying this, or even just comment the group that you chose, the teacup that you chose. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, all of that engagement really does help. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button already and the little bell, then you'll get notified for all of my new videos coming out right away. You'll get the notification as soon as they're posted. Okay, let's do your pendulum. So for the pendulum, kind of look at the reading as a whole. I look at it as some fun extra confirmation, but it won't, always connect with the reading, right? So look at the reading as a whole, use your intuition and your judgment first and foremost. The way I kind of look at it is, if more people asked a no question, we're going to get a no. If more people asked a yes question, we're going to get a yes. So if it contradicts your reading in its entirety, it might not be your answer, so just have fun with it. It's good to stick to kind of like light, fun questions as well. So group 2. You've got a yes. So let me know what you think, group 2. I really hope that you enjoyed today's reading. Let me know if it does resonate already, or if you're watching in 2025, if this has already started to unfold. I'd love to hear it, and we will see you next time. Hello, group 3. If you chose the 3rd teacup, then this is your messages about what adventure is on its way to you in 2025. So this could be about career, it could be about love, it could be about any number of things, just something unexpected happening in the year ahead. But we're going to find out what your big adventure is going to be, what you need to know about it. So I'm excited to dive in. I've got an Alice in Wonderland theme today with the cards. It's been about 4 years since I've done that theme, so I was excited to do it again. But let's shuffle out your cards first, and we're going to do charms. We've got the pendulum today, so lots of information. This deck is like hard to shuffle from. 2 of them I'm having a hard time with. Okay, 2025. I meant to get 3 tarot cards, so let's go back. 2025. Our big adventure in 2025. Big adventure in 2025. Group 3's big adventure in 2025. What is it going to be? Okay, I'll get you some charms. Random. Okay. Group 3's big adventure. What is group 3's big adventure? We will see what that is in just a moment. First, let's look at your cards that we've got shuffled out here. You've got the 7 of Cups. You've got Alice there with the bottle. It says, drink me. You have the Father, Wild Rose. We'll see what that's about. Balance. 2 of Hedgehogs, 2 of Pentacles. Interesting with balance. You've got the Page of Swords. Let's get that other tarot card here. And the Knight of Hedgehogs, Knight of Pentacles. You also have Investigate, look closely, ask questions, think before acting. And you have Hibiscus, so passion, lust, and freedom. All right, so your next big adventure, group 3. Let's take a look here. So I'm seeing a bit of confusion. And here, let's look at this. I want to include this. Wind chimes, peace and harmony. Okay, well, that's good to see. I want to read the Father because Cheryl and Darcy's decks always include so much extra information. But I'm seeing whatever this adventure is, group 3 has to do with a choice, okay? And I'm seeing you when you are presented with this choice, you're going to be looking very closely at it. What I'm getting to tell you, it might not be what it appears on the surface. So it's important to look closer, to investigate, to get more information, to ask questions. This isn't meant to make you feel nervous, by the way. It's meant to make you feel like, okay, I have the information I need to make a choice, to make the right choice for me. Okay, so I'm seeing you weighing options. It could be that this adventure involves like a choice that you have to make, or you're given two options to kind of weigh. So you're definitely being encouraged to seek out information to, oh, I just got something else. There's something about not avoiding. Because I'm noticing the card, it's like, this is the scene, painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. So they painted, like there's something about a mistake, avoiding. I'm trying to see what's coming through. Okay, so I'm trying to piece this together. Sometimes a message will come through and I don't know exactly how to articulate it. It's more of a feeling. But what I'm getting is there could be a mistake, okay, that you've made, or something where you feel like, okay, this isn't right. This isn't what it was supposed to be. So instead of avoiding it or trying to put like a Band-Aid over it, so to speak, or like, not really, or avoid it, essentially, I think you're looking closer. I think you're looking closer at something. There could be something you have to kind of spend some time on. It's not going to be rushed in 2025, okay? I'm seeing your adventure as not particularly chaotic, okay? And this is actually a good thing. Like this is actually, you've got like, there's a sense of peace and calmness and taking your time with your adventure. Adventure doesn't always have to be like Knight of Wands energy. In fact, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is more about a long-term approach to something, a little bit more of a slow and steady adventure as opposed to something that's like chaotic and unpredictable and unsteady. This is quite steady. It is strategic. Okay, so, and I think part of your adventure is just having a lot to choose from, an abundance to choose from, and I think you're looking closer at options. So part of your adventure is looking closer. I'm getting to, don't be deceived by initial, like there's something really coming through about not being deceived by your initial first impression of something, okay? It's going to require you to look closer. I'm getting no shortcuts in 2025 when it comes to this adventure. So let's read balance. It says, meet Vero Tiptoe Sky. So this is your little cat that's going to be accompanying you on this adventure. It says she can balance perfectly with an inner precision and assurance. She leans one way and then the other, constantly adjusting, learning where her center lies. She understands the dichotomies, work and play, togetherness and solitude, inner reflection and outward expression, striving and letting go, accepting and changing, freedom and discipline, reason and intuition, spiritual expansion and grounding. They go on and on. Let Vero help you see what areas of your life are out of balance and what shifts you can make to return to a graceful equilibrium. So this is a big part of your adventure, is this is bringing balance into your life. Whatever this adventure is, it's so interesting because for some reason, I think just subconsciously I associate adventure with shaking things up and maybe things being out of balance, when in fact your adventure is bringing things into balance. And what's really cool is it even says here, what did it say about freedom? Okay. I have more to say about freedom in 1 second, but I know it said something. Oh yeah, freedom and discipline. You have essentially the Emperor card and freedom here. Okay, group 3. Again, I know this doesn't sound maybe as exciting, but I think you're making some very responsible decisions in 2025. This is part of the adventure. And maybe it's because maybe you've been feeling like you've been making like choices that haven't really put you on the path that you want to get on. So maybe this part of this adventure is like, you know what, I have a goal and I really want to look into this further. There's something about study, maybe something you're studying or researching heavier or looking closer into. Let's read the Father. and we'll get more information. Okay, so the real power to begin anything in your life is ultimately yours. Okay, so part of this adventure is going to require your initiation. Because I'm sensing a sense of avoidance here, a sense of, okay, I don't know if it's this or this, so I'm not deciding at all. I'd rather just freeze. So you are initiating this adventure in some way. This is something you're starting, something you're looking closer at, something you're investigating. Okay, so the real power to begin anything in your life is ultimately yours. Though you may be influenced, blocked, or gifted with opportunities, it is up to you to create the action needed to foray out into the world. Yeah, there's something about being frozen in indecision for you, group 3. So I think that there's definitely a collective theme lately that I've noticed in cards across lots of readings about like not really knowing, even if we think we know the right answer, we don't really know for sure where it's going to lead, right? So I think you've been frozen in indecision. And there's a sense of hesitation. Even the Knight of Pentacles, this can sometimes be their struggle, is hesitation. So I think you are initiating some sort of change in 2025, and this is your adventure. And this could be more study. I'm getting definitely, for some of you, this is about study or furthering your education or taking a course or just looking closer into it or possibly developing a new skill. Perhaps patience is needed, absolutely, or more study. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love when confirmation happens like this because this is what we were getting. So ask questions. The Page of Swords, study. And then you have it mentioned here again. So perhaps patience is needed or more study before your plans can unfold, or maybe you are trying to do something that is not truly aligned with your passions, values, and calling. Okay, so part of what could be happening here is maybe what you've been doing or what you have been like focused on isn't really where you want to be. And maybe this is part of the adventure, is realizing this and maybe course correcting. So perhaps patience is needed or more study before your plans can unfold. So yes, some of you are broadening your understanding of something or seeking out more knowledge or research or education. You're getting aligned with your values and your calling and what you actually want to do. The Father takes time to make trusted decisions. I can't believe your group 3. This is like, the Father it's so funny too, because initially I saw yours as a bit of a riddle and now it's just all clicking into place like it was like made for each other, these cards. The Father takes the time to make trusted decisions that others can rely on. So you are taking the time, you're being very considerate in your choices. Look closely, ask questions, think before acting. So you're taking your time, just like it says here, to make trusted decisions. They are courageous and capable while inspiring a quiet type of leadership that is comforting and steadfast. And here's a little exploration for you to consider. It says, what are the useful lessons I have learned in life from an authority higher than myself? Okay, so some of you could be seeking out someone who's very knowledgeable on something. This could be part of your adventure, is like having, I don't know if it's a mentor, but having a teacher, having someone instruct you in something. There's something for sure about correcting a mistake. Because I'm imagining now a teacher like making notes. You know when you would get your assignment back and there'd be notes and scribbles and different things? Like I'm imagining you getting this assignment back and being like, okay, this was an error, but let's fix this. Some of you have been waiting for someone else to make a choice for you or for the universe to make a choice for you. The cards have been very clear, group 3. You need to make this choice. You are initiating this adventure. So it's not about waiting for someone else to make the decision, because you've got all of these choices in front of you. And I think this is the year, 2025, where you're really considering all of these options, looking closer at each one, rather than just being kind of frozen and like, oh, no, I don't know. Oh, nothing. It's more of like, okay, you know what does this choice mean? Or, okay, what would this mean? So this is really 2025 for you. Part of this adventure is really investigating options and exploring and researching and studying and making mistakes and learning from mistakes and adjusting, making adjustments and corrections, okay, is a big part of it. So it's going to be a really, like, I wouldn't be surprised if you chose group 3 if you are taking a course or studying something. I did get your tea leaf card. Sorry. I was like, where'd it go? Peace and harmony. I like that with balance because I think by the end of 2025, if you've been feeling like something is out of balance, I do believe that it will feel more balanced, more harmonious, things flowing together. Maybe it's just that something in your life is just not feeling like it's for you anymore. And now this is the year to kind of figure out and learn about, okay, well, what direction do I want to go in? I think 2025 for you is also about setting long-term goals, big goals, and figuring out how to make them happen. Okay? It's not about rushing, okay? This is not going to be a whirlwind. This is not Eight of Wands energy. This is slow and steady progress. Doesn't mean it's not exciting though. Remember, the theme of this reading is adventure. This is an adventure. It's just an adventure that's taking time. It's not an overnight thing. And what I like about that group 3 is this means it's something that's sticking. This is something that's not only an adventure, but it's something that you can carry with you, or it's going to have a huge impact on your life. If anything, this is like more substantial than just like, you know, a short adventure. This is like an adventure that's going to carry on. Okay, it's going to continue. Some of you are pursuing different passions that you have. I want to get just a clarifier because I think there's more to hibiscus than I'm picking up on here. I don't know, some of you, and this is, please hear me out here. This is not going to resonate for everyone. Some of you are making the choice to pursue a new relationship, okay? Again, this is not going to resonate for everyone, but some of you are, like, some of this decision-making might be in regards to a relationship. Can I get a little more information on the hibiscus, please? But yeah, it seems like you're following some sort of passion, or just maybe reflecting on what you actually love, what you're passionate about, what you want to learn more about. You have the freedom to initiate this, is what I'm getting. This is up to you. Group. Three. Can I get some more information on hibiscus, please? 6 of Cups. Oh, interesting. You've got 2 cards with the Drink Me. And it's not like all of the cards have this, I might add. Like, there's plenty of, like, you might have actually only gotten the 2 cards that have the Drink Me bottle on it. Isn't that bizarre? Look at that. You do. I do not see that bottle anywhere else. So you've got the 2 cards from this deck, 6 of Cups and 7 of Cups. Both of them say Drink Me. So more about choice. Interesting. I think there could be trial and error here as well. Because it's interesting you're reading, because on one hand, you're getting information about, okay, look closely, investigate, ask questions. But still, you're not going to know for sure, right? There's a certain degree of like trial and error with your reading today, and maybe that's what you need. Because we can like investigate something and feel like we don't have all the answers. Eventually we need to like trust ourselves. If it's about choosing, and if it's not the right thing, we can adjust, we can make adjustments. So that's a big theme of your reading today, is maybe having to make adjustments along the way, find that balance, trial and error. Exploring options, I think, is a good way to kind of summarize. I think 2025 for you, part of this adventure is exploring options, investigating, looking closer, thinking things through, like giving something more time, more consideration. I really liked how it said, well, it said a lot of things that I like, but perhaps patience is needed or more study before your plans can unfold. Or maybe you're trying to do something that is not truly aligned with your passion. So that word is twice, values and calling. So you're getting more aligned with your passions in 2025. It's up to you to create the action needed for making. Okay, so it's up to you, okay? This is like a big theme for you. It's up to you to initiate this. If you're waiting for someone to come and make a decision for you, they're not going to. No one's going to come and make this decision for you. This is up to you. So don't be so afraid of like making mistakes. If you, like, it's kind of, what's beautiful is it's encouraging you to study, to research, to learn, to look more into things, to look closely, but you need to trust that information then. Once you get that information, trust it. Trust your ability to learn and correct and figure things out. Okay, I have to get your charms. You've got bam, you've got this, so confidence. Okay, let's see. You've got the candle. A lot about pursuing different passions. 6 of Cups, maybe you are renewing some sort of passion. Or there's like a new approach to something. You've got the little slot machine, something about a gamble. Ticket to happiness. Could be something to do with like a ticket or an opportunity that only has like a limited number or something like that. I just got something, a limited time offer. You got the Queen of Swords, definitely feeling like empowered by information. This is a huge theme for you. You've got a 2, more about balance. The handcuffs, breaking free. Because even this Father card talked about like breaking free, freedom. So it's definitely something about freedom. Some of you are part of this adventure is like breaking free from something. I'm getting something about forging your own trail. You got the anchor with the star. You're staying anchored to some sort of wish or dream or goal. You got the candle here. Or pardon me, this is the wand. So wand's energy. Passion, passion, passion. So much about passion. Pursuing passions. Even this talked about pursuing passion. So passion 3 times. Alert. Something's got your alert. I think something in 2025 is like letting you know that it's not meant, like this thing isn't meant for you, so it's time to explore other options. I guess that's a good way to kind of summarize this. You're finding in 2025 something isn't meant for you, so you're starting to investigate other options and making goals for your future, different goals, and finding balance. Because something I think is kind of making things go off kilter a little bit. You're looking more closely at a situation possibly, or looking more closely at yourself, how you're feeling about something. You've got bam, you've got this. Alert, yeah, this could be an important alert on your phone that's in connection to this. That might make more sense when it happens. Or a red flag, paying attention to some sort of red flag. There's lots about like free will coming in here, free will, indecisions. A horn just honked outside, so I don't know if that meant something to someone. Being at peace with your decisions. Again, there's like a theme lately of like not needing to know for sure what's going to happen. Because like we don't, even if we think we do, we don't know. All you can do is do the research, learn what you need to know, but you're still going to have to make corrections, or there still could be some learning lessons or mistakes. So I think there's a huge theme in 2025 about not being a perfectionist. Okay, let's get some letters and we can think of some words. I'm seeing the word dart. That makes me think of the 2 of Swords from the Everyday Witch Tarot. The dartboard. Study, look at that. I see study. Studies. Okay, let's see. So the way I do them, you might not see all of the letters or all of the letters in a word, but you might still see a word, okay? Just the way they fall. I see first, for example. We do have all the letters for first, but you know, you might not see everything, but you'll still see a word. I will flip them upright for you. But yeah, I see studies. So definitely like your studies, or some of you are choosing to get more information or learn a new skill, or possibly perfect a skill or focus more on one skill. I think partially some of you are dealing with having a lot of interests. A lot of different areas of interest or different things that you've been focusing on. So I think you're kind of picking one and zoning in on it a little bit. That could be part of this decision. So studies. We don't have that Y. I've been looking for that Y. We don't have a Y, but history, histories. Tent, first. For words, you've got from and I. gold. I see the name Bree. Again, there's something earlier about like your first initial reaction to something. Look a little closer. Give yourself time to make a decision. Like, but at the same time, don't avoid making the decision, I guess is the good way to put it. Like maybe, because maybe you feel rushed. Maybe that's why you haven't been making decisions, because you're feeling rushed. So you're like, okay, I'm not making a decision at all. So just take your time making the decision. Like do the research, but then trust yourself. Trust what you've learned. Trust the information that you've gotten. And if you need to change your mind in the future, you can. But yeah, you're looking closer into something. More study, gift is coming through. Okay, let me flip this upright for you, and you can see what else you see. I see bread, jet, frog, okay, so let me know what you see. Look in the comments too, there's always really great suggestions. And this is the part that I've been trying to remember to say thank you for liking and subscribing. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing. All of that engagement really does help get this video out to more people, helps with engagement. So thank you in advance. Okay. Yeah, I see tax, test, best, dog. Okay, so let's get your pendulum, and please have fun with the pendulum. Look at it as some fun extra confirmation. If it's contradicting your reading as a whole or what you know to be true, then please just have fun with it. I like to think of it as if more people chose a yes question, we're going to get a yes. And if more people chose a no question, it's a no. So have fun with it. You know, pause, think of a light, fun question as well, right? So pause the video if you need some time to think. You've got a maybe, so it's not telling you anyways. So let me know, group 3, what you thought of this. If this connects to your situation, things might make a little bit more sense as time goes by. But yeah, you've got some choices to make and you've got some time to do it. So it's a good year to investigate those choices, investigate those things that you're thinking of and all these ideas that you have. Because, you know, there's the feeling of like maybe avoiding it entirely. Well, the time's going to pass anyway, so even if it takes you some time, that's okay, right? You know, I think future you'll be happy that you've gotten started. So you're initiating some change, some decisions, some questions. Things are coming into balance for you. You're free. You're making decisions for yourself. You're not waiting for someone else to come do it. So very nice. So let me know what you think, group 3. I'd love to hear it. We will see you next time.